See if this is actually working. We're good to go. Now I'll have to see it in a wee second just to make sure this is working. Right, I think we're up and running, so that's always a good sign. Give me a wee minute and we'll be cracking in with some AEW. Let me just quickly get the game started and we'll get a can of ginger. Crack on. So AEW, that's as far as I can go. Call it AEW War. I'll let that database load in. Right, back into and we'll be good to go and begin our AEW journey. Right, that's us sorted. Sorry, a few things to sort out there. It's great when you haven't streamed in about 2 years properly and it doesn't tweet it out. So I'm good to go. AEW is a plan. We're using the Who's mod for June, so released this morning. I was honestly sitting waiting on the Who to release it. He's some guy. So the plan is straight off the bat from Double or Nothing. I had a wee play about last night with the mod just to kind of see what's achievable. We won't be able to pinch people from WWE straight away, but it should still be pretty enjoyable. And as I say, it's going to be rare doing it on Twitch rather than doing it on YouTube, meaning we can just shoot the breeze really. So yeah, hopefully have a good bit of fun doing this. We're playing as Cody Rhodes, which means we'll be going as a booker instead of an owner. I'm not going my usual taking the easy route, always usually go the owner just to keep it easy, but now we'll make it a bit of a challenge, make it a bit of fun, and hopefully have a good wee save going. So yeah, let's crack on it. NLO free go. Cheers to the follow. Much appreciated. As I say, I've not really streamed a lot. Hence, it's been a while, and I'm hoping, that's why I put really in the bit below that hopefully we get back into the swing of things. I don't want to be saying I'm definitely back. I certainly won't be streaming FM again, that's for sure. So I will go with the greatest reputation because I do want a bit of fun. The ideal plan was either NXT or AEW was going to take me through a TW 2020, which I'd imagine will be. I don't want to put an actual time scale on it because it's a bit harsh on the creators, on Adam. I'd say probably between the next 6 months to a year. So that's giving him a lot of space to make the game. But the plan with this is really like a precursor because I do intend to likely go AEW once TW 2020 comes out, and if it's anything like one of the mixed martial arts, the way I played that demo, it should hopefully be a pretty enjoyable game. I pretty much keep everything ticked on. I do like to see the dirt sheets so I can have an idea of what's going wrong. Apart from that, I always have the main event down the bottom, so I build down to it. Apart from that, everything else is really turned on, and we get that mod that I've got, the Snoopy grades, that lets you see both the actual grade itself and the number as well, so you can see if it's like a shite C minus, or if it's going to be if it's close to being a C or a C plus. So what I'll say as well, because AEW's product is pretty much half and half in popularity and how good the wrestler is, or skill level, popularity and performance, as I should say with the terminology in the game, you're really looking at a kind of mix and match. So people like Chris Jericho will be pretty okay to start with because obviously he'll have the high popularity, but as time goes on, because of the physical decline, he'll start to decrease if you don't keep him booked strongly. And somebody that could be very talented could be maybe let down. Somebody that doesn't have the exposure in America quite yet. Also, I need to remember that the Who's stats, he's really, I wouldn't say harsh, I think he's more realistic in his stats. Like 100 over is probably The Rock, and that's because he's global in the world. And to be honest, in wrestling, there's not many people around here like that. So I tend to agree with his mod. It makes it a lot harder of a save, but I certainly tend to agree with how he rates the wrestler. So, what will we go with? I always just usually go with one of the presets. Let's go with Steady Hand. So we do need to watch our finances. It's not as massive as I was hoping, but it's pretty much TNA level of Flash's mods back in the day. So we'll remove the person that's sold a non-booker. So we are Cody Rhodes to the company. So they're the 7th biggest company in the game at the moment. So you obviously need to build them up a little bit. Not on television. We probably will go quite quickly onto television. I don't know what to do Tuesday night because the way basically Kenny Omega gets snapped up pretty quickly on other paper appearance deals, which kind of does hamper him in the usage of them. So the only time I could really use him is on Monday, which of course would clashes with Raw, but in this game, remember, we'd be classing with SmackDown anyway. So we'll see how we rate it. We'll see what opportunities pop up, what kind of networks are willing to speak to us. I think it was in ESPN last night. So second company, main guys, Chris Jericho, John Moxley, Penta LZOM, Cody, and Tommy Dreamer. There's more over than Kenny Omega in this, so there you go. We've got a lot of building up to do with Kenny. As I say, we'll be going to Booker as Cody Rhodes, so we will be listening to the advice and offerings from Tony Khan. So select Booker as all Elite Wrestling. There'll be a few changes I need to make at the start. Basically, I need to look to implement everything to how it should be. How's it going, Jamie? Lovely. He's on one comment in and he's already starting with that disgusting, outdated patter. How you doing, me man? It's a shame he won't be able to afford them, but that's what it is. Right, so Fyter Fest is in 19 days. The schedule's pretty decent. Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, all out. I'm probably looking at doing AEW October is more than likely is the second annual All In, and we'll have that as our WrestleMania type event. Right, so I need to remember what I done last night that I needed to change today. So product, the only thing I wanted to change was spinal impact moves. I'm not allowed to get rid of that. because that was hampering them quite a lot. So you can see that rated equally on performance and popularity. Purescu skills, less effective, hardcore less effective. All fans will expect to have a gimmick, will not respond to subtle gimmicks. Each show should at least have a high spot, a crash, car crash, or steal the show. We'll go with steal the show, just making sure people go all out in a match. So we'll have like a 15-minute all out match. One match is storytelling, that's fine. It's a very diverse roster, so there's obviously the opportunities in that. I was sure most did anyway, but that's the plan. As I say, I've planned it through a few pay-per-views, so we could be looking at maybe till dinner time. Obviously, I'll just sit and play FM during the Champions League final, and I'll see how I feel later on. I don't know if it'll be an F1 practice race, but I might try and lob some in before NXT. It's just trying to think of how I can get a schedule going forward as well, because that's why I haven't really put a schedule. Because that way I'm I'm only getting 2-3 hours like Monday to Thursday, but like I've got all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday because I don't drink anymore. So, we'll see. What happened to your PC anyway? It doesn't matter, mate. Honestly, I've put it in the bottom anyway. I don't want MD, I don't want any donations, I don't want any subs until I know I'm definitely consistently doing this. I don't want to waste people's time or money if it's not going to be a consistent thing. But the plan is, for this plan for a good couple of weeks, I felt like, I was really feeling TW. FM, I'm more than happy just to keep playing off stream. That's see having nobody backseat gaming and just chilling and just being pissed off at Motherwell being shite in my save, but nah, it's been alright. Right, so fucking hell, mate. That's one thing I'm always para about, man. Like when I leave the house, I'm making sure every electronic's checked and making sure fucking nothing gets no wires across and all sorts, man. So the other day, man, I was like shouting at my gran, like centre, like safety concern. She had a laptop next to the kettle, and I'm like, it's just a safety hazard. What are you doing? And she's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's happening to things, man. I know. Every cunt's freaking out here. It's like, what's this guy doing? Right, so we've got $2.5 million to spend. We don't make a lot of money. I didn't play a full month yesterday. I played like 3 weeks because I was kind of playing it, but at the same time watching Limmy on here. That's pretty much what I do like 90% of my time now. I literally just sit and watch Limmy streams on here. I can't remember the last FM stream I watched. Maybe watched like 1 or 2 Pieface streams, but 90% of what I watch on here is 90% honestly is just watching Limmy. Whether he's playing Euro Truck Simulator or a random game, just because his comedy is right down my street, man. It's a perfect Scottish comedy. I know. I saw you the other day when I was just I was setting this up and I just clocked you streaming. I'm like, oh, yeah, we hosting all that, just to see what was happening. Because I'll get to the stage where on Fridays, like 90% of the time, I'll just be like sitting like chilling in FM or playing a bit of F1. Because I only work Monday to Thursday. It's 4 fucking really long days, cover my 40 hours, but that 3-day weekend, every weekend to make sure I get to the football is the sacrifice I decided to make. I think it's the first time I'm using the app on my phone as well. It's mad. But you know me, man, I just sit and like play games and buy pop vinyls now. Don't drink. Right, so we're heading towards Fyter Fest. That's the plan. Fucking hell, man. Sorry to hear. I'm like the new. I'm like continually going back and forth with the doctors. I don't have an idea of what exactly the issue is. It's basically like itchy skin. It still is itchy, but they were thinking it was because I had basically gout in my right foot. I kept spazzing up every so often. But basically, as soon as I got the new job working on my feet all the time and put back playing football, I had no issues. So they don't know what it is, and just continually waiting and continually getting blood tests. Oh, it's horrible, mate. Honestly, it's absolutely brutal. The funny thing is, the first time I got it, I just thought I had a sore foot, so I played fives with it. It was horrible. I just put the full game with it. I'm like, I don't know what this is, because it wasn't like sore, like a proper gout attack, but it was the precursor to one. It was horrible. And then it really kicked in when Morrow played Aberdeen in the semi-final. the Scottish Cup, and that's when I was like limping round Hampton. I'm like, I can't do this, man. But no, I've not had any touch wood since August. I think was my last attack. Since then, I've been alright. As I say, that's pretty much because I changed up, obviously, gone from sitting marks all day. Even in my old job as well, I was obviously sitting at a computer all day, to a job where I don't have any, I don't sit at all. Apart from my lunch breaks, my breaks, I'm constantly standing. But I'm in a job where I don't need to talk to the public, so I'm absolutely happy in that regard. But it's absolutely horrible, man. I completely agree. Bevy-wise, I've drank once this year, and that was the last day of the League One season. So I went to the pub and watched Sunderland against Southend and Liverpool-Newcastle, and whatever game was before Liverpool-Newcastle, because I was raging when Liverpool scored. Gambling, I'm still gambling. I'm holding my money the day to the night. I'll have a wee request a bet in the Champions League final, but I'll be put my free bet on Gabby goal anytime, and no, Gabby goal first goal scorer, and then probably a fiver or a tenner on Gabby goal anytime. Because I'm playing somebody piss. He's at Flamengo now, so he gets a lot more chances than he used to. And Santos were horrible to watch. I'm just going slow here because I need to remember everything I've done last night to make sure this was fine. Angles I'm going to import when I get to booking Fyter Fest, so I need to remember to do that. I've fixed spinal injuries, that's fine, that happens. Backstage I wanted to tweak one thing. So I was going to put no alcohol, no drugs, no alcohol, you can smoke. The other one I was going to give them was going to give them catering. There you go, 100% rain. There we go, perfect. Oh, Joey's now a spot for Penelope Ford. Interesting, so we don't have them together. See, what happened to me last week is I don't bet on the horses like at all usually, and then I saw a horse called Maxi Boy, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to, man. It's genuinely my nickname, so I bet that, and I won, and then just stupidly didn't withdraw my money. Good thing is as well, we don't need storylines, so I don't know. I'm thinking stables, so we are literally going for scratch here, but we don't need to run storylines, which is good. We can just promote big matches, make sure we're constantly getting the grade. I think what we'll do is we'll do Fyter Fest. We'll get through to Fyter Fest in the next hour because it takes a long time to process because it's the start of the database, so it's a lot of data. Game gets, it's opposite FM, it gets faster as you get into it. When you start off, it's really slow. So we'll go to Fyter Fest. After that, we'll look to bring in Tuesday Night Dynamite, and then we'll kick on. We'll have Fight for the Fallen, All Out. If we get by All Out, we'll have a debate on stream what we can call the next pay-per-view, because obviously there's no pay-per-view names, and then we'll make October the second annual All In, and that'll be a WrestleMania type show. So I'm just going to quickly I loved his promo, I really enjoyed it. A lot of the guys and girls on the show, I'd seen snippets, I hadn't seen a lot of them, so that it was kind of like my first or second time seeing them, but he was one I was really impressed with. I'm going to be honest, before I streamed, I was maybe watching like 2 Orange Cassidy matches with Sloth of Wrestling. I watched them against Jervis, Gentleman Jervis is now known, which was hilarious, and then him against Smiley Kylie Ray, and I was just like, oh my god, like, I remember him when he was in his ant gimmick. I think it was either Orange Ant, I would have been Orange Ant, wasn't it? Or Silver Ant? Hold on, I'll check now. It was mad. This is when we haven't played it in that long, I'm forgetting where to go to. So it's not got his previous game. I'm sure he was one of the ants. One of the ants was Orange Cassidy. It's cool having like Jungle Boy and all that. I will say as well, it's really one of the worst games to try and stream, because you can't use window capture because windows pop up. You can't use game capture. You pretty much need to use monitor capture. So my monitor is literally customized resolution to just have TW in the center. I've got OBS in the top left of my screen. So I'll use one monitor because I've not got the room for another one, because the way my system's set up, so I've got my telly above, so I can sit and watch a football when I'm streaming. Because I couldn't have like 3 tellies and keep twisting my neck. I just look up and then that was up there. So we've got that there, chat on the right hand side, and any alerts in the bottom left. So if somebody follows and go, hey, yeah, how you doing? I actually meant to message you, but I kept forgetting to do so. I've been playing a bit of Mario Odyssey. I've just got by the kind of floating castle, and I'm on to the next bit where I have to choose it one or two options. I'm enjoying it. It's just finding the time to sit down and get a regular session on it. Because I did say, I keep tracking away for the actual game, but we'll get to it eventually. But I did have a list of games I wanted to play. So like, doing the state, like I've got. I hate saying it, but I do have like all the consoles just because I wanted to just basically have an elite man cave. That was the plan. If I eventually do move it, then I'd have like a designated man cave room with all the consoles so I could play what I wanted. So I'm sitting with Super Mario Odyssey to play on the Switch, which will take me through until Pokemon Shield or Sword and Shield. But I play Mario Kart every so often. I've got Digimon World on the PS4, which is taking an absolute age. It is an absolute grind. I don't like being doing this there either because it's I don't get to skip to my PC and I can't do other stuff at once. But I've got that. So that's what I'm wanting, a 2-bedroom, or even if I can get like a third one that can be converted, and then just have like a proper man cave room, and then like obviously like a bedroom and an actual man cave room. Because they have like collecting the pop vinyls was kind of the start of that plan, of that idea to have like a room that would just be stuff, because all the pop vinyls I've got are basically shit that I enjoy, so it's not like just buying them for the sake of buying them. It's like hundreds of like basketball shit, wrestling shit, there's a lot of My United stuff, Batman stuff. But so Digimon World, I still got Digimon Cyber Sleuth on the Xbox. Spyro was fine until it got to the grinding part where you needed to have a certain amount of gems to get to the next bit. Try to get a ring in 2K as a GM and as a player, which is proven to be horrible and you keep bot on it. And that's another reason why I just wanted to stop playing FM really. So going to finish it off with a Champions League win with Motherwell. Kind of started a new save, which is piss easy. I found out there was a second tier team in Northern Ireland that have got 4 million in the bank. You've only got 24k to spend, but obviously every so often they'll just split, here's a couple of million because they've got sugar daddy. So I thought, fuck it, I'll try and, because half the problem will be progressing a Northern Irish team into a competitive force in Europe. So I thought, why not? And it, you know, many of my saves, I buy folk and then I sell them on, you know what I mean? I don't really keep players for a long time, and I thought, that's a league where I genuinely believe I could get somebody scoring 60, 70 goals a season. So I want to try and see if I can maybe end it with a 500, 600 goal striker. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. So I wanted to import a few things in our database. So that's how TW works. Well, we're taking off restricted areas because when you've got Joshy wrestlers wrestling in AEW and all that, I don't see that as an option, as a problem either. Import data. So basically, I'm going to my go-to one, which is, I use that many different mods. You can see I just name them the Who or Fleesh or Mildly Amusing. You know, they're all named under the mod maker, so I remember, because obviously memory's not the greatest. So TW 2006 April, that's pretty much the first database I've done, which is Fleesh's 2016 April mod. His last mod for TW13, which I converted in. Likelihood is I'll just probably take the last mod that probably the Who does before we get to TW 2020, and we'll just start off straight away, because I just can't do the Camilleverse. I need to know who the wrestlers are. So select all. I just like using main angles from this, so we'll import the angles in. Not a slight on the Who, I just prefer having promo, so I can just type P and go straight to promo. Another one I want is gimmicks as well. So we do have, I think I've already imported that, so that's fine. Alright. So you can see here, if you've not played TW before, company battles, Kenny deaths, regens, dirty tricks, all this kind of stuff. It's class. Kenny deaths is like if somebody like ran down with hunger. The most bizarre one I've had was Finn Balor came out with racist comments and basically had to sack him. And I was going to make him a world champion literally shortly afterwards. So that's it for just now. We'll click on to the next day. It takes me a bit of time to load. It does it day by day unless you set up multi-days. but it's going to take a bit of time before we get the TV show. As I say, I want to just progress for a couple of days. We'll stick. We fight for the Fallen. A couple of matches they've got made, and we'll adjust a few other things, and we'll crown a champion it all out. So we'll keep it a wee bit realistic, but it'll be a while before we challenge WWE. Which is why we're doing the save. So we can have a bit of fun and just make some ridiculous matches. But it's always brutal at the start. You'll notice on the right hand side we're probably looking at about 40-50 news items. I usually just scan them. But once you get into the save, everything's free flowing. You're usually looking at 5, 6, 7, pending if it's a midweek when there's a lot of TV, or if it's a weekend when there's a lot of independent shows. So like probably 50% of these news items will be somebody switching brands on WWE. But that's what happens at the start every time. You just need to get on with it. So it gives me time to chill and get a drink. So normally this would be a Saturday, I would sit and watch a Fitba and have Jeff on and a cooking, but telly right now is pretty much Major League Baseball. Baseball's horrible. BT Sport Goals Reloaded. MotoGP, if it's not really in a car, I don't really care. And Premiership Rugby, Jesus Christ, and cycling. I was hoping to watch Le Mans, but Le Mans is not 2 weeks away, it's only practice, and anywhere in the UK is broadcasting it. There we go. So, as you can see on the right hand side, a lot of stuff there. Heel turns, AJ Styles doing promo work, a couple of people being drafted to various other places, a couple of people being fired because obviously their company maybe has more wrestlers than they expect. But it's just really it in opening day. Our news items will be Billy Gunn being offered a deal from ICW in Europe. So that is Italian Championship Wrestling, not for ICW. And Helico released by WXW in Europe, and Tony Khan has given us our business goals. So let's look at them. We've made us made £2 profit so far, go us. Let's have a look. So AEW must have not fallen below regional when the time expires. I think that should be fine. You cannot hire or extend the contract of anyone who's known to have problems with the law. That's fine. You cannot hire any wrestler who is classified as a psychopath. Honestly, pretty easy so far. But I know, that means we can't sign Scott Steiner. No. That's the thing, see, because it's like a Twitch stream and it's just like that, we can obviously arse about and sign people that obviously would not sign for AEW in any sort of way. Well, let's sign like, well, that's the problem. Everybody that used to find who's old and that is kind of retired, so you can't really use them. But I don't know, we could bring in like Stone Cold as like an 40 figure. Let's see what happens. The problem is the roster is quite stacked already, so there's no really room to bring a lot of people in. But we'll see how time goes on, man. As I say, it doesn't always go this slow. It's just the start when it's a new mod and it's. I need people. That's the thing. Like a lot of the wrestlers, I was looking last night. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know you. There's a lot of people I didn't really recognise. But what we'll do is when we book the shows anyway, we'll have an idea of who we've not really used, and then we can punt them. The good thing is they're no under written contracts, so it wouldn't cost us anything to let them go. But it's a really accurate database in terms of the roster. There's the ones that didn't even appear on Double or Nothing that have been announced. There's the ones that had the vignettes. So like Sadie Gibbs and stuff like that. But we'll introduce titles as well over time. We'll add in a tag title and a women's title. I'm going to go realistic as well and not make it a world title until it's defended in 5 different countries. There we go. There's our first mad thing in the save. And 2 days' time, Mark Calloway and Michelle McCool are divorced. That was a very, very quick divorce. But there you go. The dead man is no longer with Michelle McCool. We also have a broken tibia for Victor. He's retiring. So SmackDown's going to be basically Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton against Kofi and Xavier as the main event. Mickey James beating Asuka. Big E, oh well, Epico's alive in this. That's interesting. I'm actually booking him. Right, so here you go. Basically, because of the size of company we are, we lose. Well, we don't lose people until it comes up written contract offers, but there'll be offers. So, Hangman is now ripped. Noah want Kenny Omega. So, same as last night. Basically, if you're going to negotiate, review rival offers, paper appearance, that's fine. Basically, most of them won't sign written deals, and we're not really in a position at the moment to give them written deals, or we're just going to lose too much money. Noah for Brandy Rhodes and PWA for Billy Gunn. We also have more goals from Tony Khan, which is when the time expires, AEW must not have fallen below 7th in the company rankings. So we've got 2 years to get in a good position, or basically not going to war. I'd like to imagine we'll just keep getting higher and higher. So hopefully that should be fine. And so I'm just gonna, so I don't forget at the time, I'm not schedule, pre-book. So Fyter Fest, we'll keep it realistic. We know for a fact that one match that's confirmed is Joey Janela as a babyface taking on Jon Moxley. That's done. So we'll add that in, and we also want to add in, because I hit the wrong button there, Cody taking on Darby Allin. And if I just go to All Out, we'll just book it in already and we'll work towards it. We'll have Adam Page against Chris Jericho, and that will be for your championship. So there we go. That's what we've got booked in so far. If anyone can remember anything else that's booked for Fyter Fest, we'll add that in, but I don't know, I can't really remember. Mad about Antonio Reyes, by the way, innit? I'm noticing a lot of Scottish teams are hiring managers and rolling contracts. Who's in the 6-man? Is that the one that's still to be a mystery guy announced, or is it been officially confirmed? If you can name all 6 combatants, I'm assuming it'll be the Young Bucks involved, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have the screen size to go and quickly check. Come on, man, this is the worst part of the save and it takes fucking forever at the start. I wonder, was Reyes actually contracted to Sevilla, or was he like not at a club or what? It is mad how in a real life database you get all the people that are in the current generation, then you still got your old school legends as well. So Clara Sinclair is pregnant. All Japan for Kenny and All Japan for Brandy. So if I'm right in saying they should be, no, I'm not gonna lie. Even though with Cody Rhodes we can afford to lose Brandy, but Kenny not so much. Just again getting para, making sure it's not a written contract. That's fine. It does mean we'll probably be limited to our use of Kenny, but the thing is he can gain popularity in other countries and that will benefit us in the future. Is that more goals? Fucking hell, Tony Khan. What are you doing? There we go. So we can't hire anyone that's a mixed martial arts crossover. The main two, as long as we don't fall below regional, we don't fall below 7, so we can. The only way is up, effectively. In terms of people we can actually sign, this is going to be a list. Quite a lot. You can see reality. I use sort of sign people that are pretty good in-ring workers, which will be limited to quite a few. There's one we're going to snap up straight away, make it a 2-year deal. Basically because I didn't do it last night, but because we're going all in, no pun intended, let's get the big names in straight away. So then bring in Kenta, somebody that's going to be a good wrestler. We need to build up his overness, but it's an absolutely fantastic hand to bring in, I think. Again, you don't want to stack the roster too much, so it has to be somebody that's on that level that you can look to bring in. Who was a female wrestler brought in last night that was really good? Oh, that's going to annoy me. I can't remember what that one is. Snookins, if you can remember what the match is, let me know. I'll happily add it. That's just what I remember off the top of my head. Who was the worker I signed yesterday? There's a female worker, and I went, we have to sign her, she's really good. Who the fuck was it? We did have Ashley Lane, but... She's married to Josh Matthews, and Josh Matthews really annoys me. Who is it? That's going to annoy me. I genuinely signed somebody last night and I thought this is an absolutely stellar signing. Ah, so there's more than 3 matches in. Oh, Fight for the Fallen's the one after. Oh, that's even better. That means we can pre-book even further ahead. So we've got a 2 for Fyter Fest. I'm like thinking when you said Cody and Dustin to the Young Bucks, I'm like, Cody's fighting Darby Allin, but no, that's even better. Let's get that added in then. So we'll have Brandy versus Ali. We'll add in Kenny versus Seema. See, Seema's one of the guys I've heard a lot about, but I hadn't really seen him wrestle, so that was one I was quite happy to see. Seema versus Kenny. If Kenny's available, there's a good chance Kenny might not be available because of this All Japan gig. And 2v2 is going to be Cody and Dustin versus the Young Bucks. Nick, I was going to type in the Young Bucks there. Some of them might not work out because I think Cody's a face, and in this mod, Dustin's a heel. But screw it, man. As long as we make the matches happen, then I don't really mind. We keep it a wee bit realistic until Pac ends up just winning everything. It's going to annoy me. I don't know who that female wrestler was. I know there was Tony. It wasn't Tony Storm, was it? Because technically you can pinch Tony Storm, and she'll obviously gain a lot of popularity. I think it might have been Tony Storm. It doesn't matter anyway because we can't get her under a written deal, so it doesn't benefit us in any sort of way. Effectively, we could end up pushing Dean Ambrose or John Moxley very, very high, and then WWE just go, there's a written deal, mate, we'll take you back. Unless who's modded it in saying we'll not be doing any business. Ambrose will refuse to speak to him. But I'm interested with booking this as well because I've never really been one that's always done. I've always done popularity companies, so it was quite easy to monitor, but then I need to take into account people that are good technically, people whose psychological skill is quite high, because that's obviously one thing that a lot of wrestlers are lacking, especially when we're going to have 20-minute matches. But there you go, straight away you're doing 6 notes. Impact of the show, Tyler Breeze getting called up to the main roster again. That's how up to date this is for the Who. What a guy, has it? Way up to date. DDP is a manager. I don't want to have DDP as a manager because might be a road agent. Pictures are reasonably up to date. I think the only one I wasn't really happy with was Pac, but it's more because it looks still Neville there. Everything else was realistically pretty decent. The ones that don't have pictures, it's not many. It's like Jungle Boy, maybe one or two others. We'll certainly like to sort them out over time. What I'm actually going to do as well, get Fyter Fest into a 2-hour show. Yeah, booking a 3-hour show last night was horrible, and you were literally hemorrhaging so much money because you were putting that many people in. So we'll put all shows to 2 hours then, apart from All In when we do it. I'll be honest, because you can obviously edit this as you go. The plan is we'll more than likely take CM Punk out of retirement and we'll bring him in Chicago. I think it's going to happen, if I'm honest. It just makes sense. He's not going to be restricted. It's going to be a decent sized company, and the schedule that AEW has lets him continue to do mixed martial arts, commentary, and all the other stuff that he enjoys. Got the ice hockey or what. Just a prediction. I could be completely wrong. He could just go, fuck it, I don't like wrestling, but I just get a feeling like Chicago, it makes sense. You know what I mean? But John Moxley gets them talking, but CM Punk will get them like proper talking. Right, so you're not bad, mate. Not bad. Kind of was up late last night just watching Wimmy's Twitch stream, and then honestly just sorting stuff out with this to make sure it was playable and to make sure I knew where I was going. But yeah, I'm all good. How about yourself? You alright? So like CMLL stuff. The Japan champion is. That's the right one. Why do I think that said New Japan? Am I blind? Oh, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. The thing is, I don't know. I get what you mean by that, and it's the whole you don't want somebody to come back and then it's just not the same. Like, obviously comparing Undertaker now to Undertaker 7-8 years ago when it was against Shawn Michaels and Triple H, I can see that point. I think it's just more of a case of, I know you kind of keep signing everybody and making shock appearances at every event, but it's just that whole like, here, this is a proper war. I know they said they don't want it to be a war, but like, it's just a weird. It's a weird thing. Like, folk our age and younger haven't really experienced this. Like starting out, like we were far too young when that. Well, not the Attitude Era, but just before when it started into a war. Because you could say about '98 it was done, and what would have been 9 after 1999. That'd be interesting to see what they do. Even if they brought him in, and bring in, say as a commentator, but Rosemary could be a shout. Certainly look into that at one point. Ali's only in just now for that match. She's got booked at the moment. I think the ones we'll be pushing. The women's division's a weird one because I do think it needs a lot more star power. But yeah, we'll see. Kent is in. Let's make him a babyface and he can kick the shit out of Sunday. I say it's a stacked roster already, so considering I'm only going to be booking 1 hour television, 2 hours pay-per-views, I don't want to just be signing a million people, because that was my problem, certainly in WWE. I just went, I'm fucking signing a lot in WWE. So I'll try and limit it as much as possible. Ideally, I'd probably want to do just wrestlers, and then that kind of narrows it down a little bit. Alright, so why have I typed in wrestler and Alex Marvez is showing up? I am looking for push and ring. There we go. Oh, that's it. When I checked last night, there wasn't a lot of babyface teams, but there's a lot of heels. So you get Best Friends, Los Guros de Ciro, the different SoCals versions, Lucha Bros, Private Party, Rhodes Brothers, Super Smash Bros, and the Young Bucks. It's quite stacked. Luchasaurus, I haven't actually checked him in this. I should. It's in that Orange Cassidy, didn't have his. Where is he? Luchasaurus. As soon as he pops up as Austin Draven, again, I'm showing my not playing a lot of TW recently. There you go, plenty. Judas Devlin, he's development, Vibora, and Luchasaurus. Perfect, that means Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy we can do something with at one point. Because I was even thinking having Luchasaurus, because this portraying him as a heel, could possibly be like a... Because obviously it's fantasy booking. I'd be like a monster that helps Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Then you get both over with the monster and the look of Luchasaurus and the promo skills and the entertainment side of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Right, so Kenta will be an upper mid carder. That's a good start. It's probably just a mod, mate. We'll add him one. There you go. He now has a mask. There's always going to be small wee issues and wee errors in the database. I mean, it's the Who puts so much time into it, but you're all, nobody's perfect. There's always going to be little errors. And I mean, if it was an official database done by hundreds and hundreds of people, like FM, there's not really much excuses. But man does it in his own time, and it's that much data that I never expect it to be perfect. But it's something we can easily amend anyway. So right centre pay-per-view is the Saturday, the 3rd week, so still a wee bit to go. But it just gives the game world a chance to kind of develop. Hey, FM has Davey Turnbull scoring 20 yarders all the time. I'm more than happy with it. Maybe I'm just saying, the moral data is pretty good. Moral players are usually alright. Curtis Main had 9 finishing, so I was probably too high there, but it's been weird. I've played just a lot of Scotland, but I've played in just some ridiculous leagues this year. What I'm interested to see is what wrestlers have come through in the last 2 or 3 years, because I've just been using the same database for that save when the game was launched, so a lot of people are like, alright, who's that? Well, if you're paying about 10 million, you can send them. Nah, I think you'll honestly go for like 3-4 million, which is mad money for us. Alright, why is Hidden Gems taking a while to show up? There we go. Oh, wow. Your biggest hidden gem is Eric Anthony, Enzo Amore, Sean Ricker, Bill Morrissey, Matt Cross, and Daniel Minoy. Safe to say we'll be avoiding 4 out of 5 of them. I really, really hope we do not get to a stage where we end up signing Enzo and Big Cass. And keep it realistic as well, if we do sign anyone for WWE or ex-WWE, we will try and be creative in the stream for a name for them and a gimmick. So Kenta we can get away with because obviously he was using that out with Enzo and Cass XL. I think Matt Cross would have been the only one I'd have looked at, but you'll see my book fight for the Fyter Fest. You know what I mean? How much a struggle it's going to be, and that's nobody's too bad. We'll book most people, but I want to try and limit booking everybody because money. Don't make great money with the deals that are in. I think it's mad to believe that All In was like 10 months ago. I'm already trying to struggle to remember a few things that happened on it. The quicker we can get the company up, we can start competing with WWE and stealing people from them. But until then, it is just going to be. There's not going to be like Sasha Banks being pissed off and wanting to leave or anything like that. Well, unfortunately, we're not highly rated enough to get that, which is fair enough. It's a new company. We're starting from pretty much scrap. Technically, it's only had 1 official show, although I consider All In an official show. It was working towards this. Guy's mad. Yep. One of the baffling ones is always Brandy ends up, especially on the trial I done last night, she ended up going to Japan as well. But you're always going to get that, see, because it's not an official database, there's always going to be some ones you're just like, just the way the mod makes it. Right, so Kenny's way to Japan as well, something that wouldn't happen. I'm sure in real life, but that is what it is. Let's see if there's any that FX is Nick Patrick to shine. Okay. Oh, Johnny Devine. Fuck, I remember Johnny Devine when he was cutting about the Dudleys and or Team 3D, I should say. Joe Gertner to NXT. Okay. Do you know what? I think Tennille was one of the names I had last night signing. So I think she will end up there. I think that's pretty likely. Hey, that's absolutely fantastic. We're literally 2 weeks into the game and Errol Hebner's going to retire, so we're going to lose a referee. Brandy has signed a paper appearance deal with Noah. Why is Japan really wanting Brandy Rhodes? She's good entertainment, that's about it. Baffling. And Kenny, as I say, all Japan. So that'll probably rule Kenny Omega. Let's have a look. Schedule, where are you? Schedule. There we go. Open calendar. Well, there you go. The people we're going to have missing for that event is going to be Pac with Dragon Gate. We're going to be missing Jerry Lynn and Brandy Rhodes, so that's who we'll be missing. But that's when you look at TV. You look at Monday, you're losing people who are at DDT. Tuesday, you're losing Moxley, Rhodes, and Omega. A Wednesday, Moxley. Thursday, you're losing all the people at Impact, so it's looking likely, and people at Triple A on a Friday, so I think more than likely. Can we go against the grain and put our TV show as a Sunday? Oh, God no. This pay-per-views, that's horrible. I think we're going to have to go Monday, and we'll just take the hit on Pac. Which wouldn't really be too unrealistic since he's not showing up so far. So I think we're going to go ahead and make our TV show on a Monday. So if anybody's got any ideas, because we can't exactly call it, or can we call it Monday Night Dynamite? Obviously, we won't be going head to head with Raw because we won't be in prime time. We'll be probably before or after, as we build up our reputation on the network. We'll see. It's all trial and error when we get there. See what happens and where we go for there. As long as the show's over I think it was over 40, we should be alright. I'll be watching it. That'll be the plan later on. I kind of get most of the day structured out of what I want to do, and that'll be just before bed, I think, and then back to try to get back to a 6 AM rise. Kingpin Alley, the ever so modest. Kenny goes to Noah as well. I do think there'll be a lot of people we just steal for WWE, but if they don't, well, no steal. If they get released, WWE want to keep them. But somebody like a Primo could be solid. Epico could be solid, but there'll be some people, we're not exactly going to run and get Titus O'Neil, but we'll see. It might. Well, it depends if you're leaving at 4. It should be finished before then, because realistically, it'll be 1 o'clock to 3:30. Depends when you're leaving, I suppose. Yeah, or if they have to be at the airport for 4, then you're kind of. That's fair. Truth Martini to NXT. See, the AI always will make some very baffling signings, like Mick Foley going to show. Should we say Mick Foley? Bring him in as a personality. Just somebody that can get cheap pops and cheap rates. Fuck it. Well, Mick, you can be our authority figure type guy. Oh, unless you're willing to improve your offer. Shakira, or Shakira. Shakira's the singer. 2290. Alright. A little better than. What the fuck? What are they offering that I'm not? Oh, 2,290, that's why. That's fine. Oh, it's Paul. I know what it is. The length of the contract will be better. Fuck it, just take a 2-year deal. If he's to take it, he should take it, but we'll see. Airline demands, obviously, another thing as well. Oh, Brett's no way AEW in this because it's a one-off appearance. So we could sign Brett, but I'd rather somebody like Mick Foley. I just feel he's probably going to be better carrying a promo. He got DDP, admittedly, but we'll see. But that's the thing, people will go and work abroad and work for other companies and they will gain popularity, so we need to keep an eye out for that. So somebody could just explode and be over, and then we can use them. I was looking at a villain at one point. I wasn't going to jump in straight away with Marty. I was thinking he could be somebody that pops up at Chicago. No, he's at ROH, but he's an open contract, so it is somebody we could actively pursue. Honestly, the new I'm not going to run storylines. I'm just going to put on good matches and get the company over. The only things I'm keeping true to real life is matches that are already booked, but I don't plan to do storylines. Just plan to have as many good shows as possible, get the company to a high level, and then we'll maybe integrate storylines as the save goes on, because it can change so quickly in this type of environment as well. If they do not sign contracts with WWE and become free agents, and we can bring them in. Well, we could at one point. As I say, roster's pretty stacked to what to make signings a minimum so far. So let's see what their takeover was. Gargano beat Robbie E, or Robert Strauss. Kushida and Undisputed Errors. Fuck. Oh, Fish and O'Reilly against Bugenhagen, Strickland, and Keith Lee. Velveteen Dream versus Kona Reeves, so it's not going to be quite to the level of tonight's show. Shayna Baszler against Candice LeRae. Jayude, Mafa, and Parker against Matt Riddle. And you had the Viking Raiders against the Street Profits. So that title should have been vacated, so that's obviously something that he's kind of missed out on. So obviously tonight's the Fatal 4-Way for the vacated NXT Championships. But yep, that's the AI. The AI, honestly, like, that's how I'm confident we'll catch WWE, because the AI are absolutely shocking at booking in this. Especially with the AI, the real world mods. I don't know if it's quite the case in the Cornellverse, the default database, but the AI book absolutely rotten. Even pay-per-views are rotten. So like, I don't know how he's changed the schedule. What's the June pay-per-view? We'll check that in a minute. When it loads back up, we'll check WWE and we'll keep an eye out on the June pay-per-view, and we'll just get an idea of how bad it is. But the AI book's terribly. It might improve in TW 2020, but remains to be seen. That was one thing I liked about the jump for EWR to TW was you could see, what was happening. The world was developing around about you rather than just, who's really good, I'll sign him. Sammy Guevara released by AAA. Company Wars, WWE, schedule. 4th week of June, so they still have Money in the Bank to come. So we'll have an idea of basically how bad their Money in the Bank is once we get to it. But I think we'll seek to put our TV deal up on the Friday the 3rd week of June. So then we'll book Fyter Fest, and then we'll jump straight into television. Just to get us, I know it's no realistic as in they're not going to TNT to late, but we won't have a deal as big as that. Because of where the company is, so we need to get on television as quickly as we can and get the company up as much and making money. We could honestly book this horribly wrong and end up in a financial crisis and liquidate and see. Like, that's one I'm probably going to maybe look to sign, because we only getting any WWE guys yesterday. Rhino re-signed, so if Rhino's available, Rhino's someone I'm going to bring in, because it's fucking Rhino. Can you imagine him just fully unleashed, destroying people? Looks like they're going to re-sign Maria and Mike Kanellis. That's cool. And that's the only real people whose contracts were expiring in WWE, as we bring in Mick Foley right here on Twitch TV. And man, cheap popping that. I heard Rhino was going to leave, but I think he might be somebody that ends up in AEW. Again, decent name. People forget he's no young, but he's no like old. I know he's been about for ages, but he started that young. And you can just imagine some big spot and all that, just want to go or somebody. And it allows him to do his, I think he's trying to be like a mayor or something, I don't know. He's trying to do something in politics. Let's have a look. So we'll show you how bad our Raw is. Kane and Sami Zayn against Styles and Strowman. Sasha Banks, Sarah Logan. Rey Mysterio against Connor. Gallows and Anderson against Dallas and Gulak. Rezar defeats McIntyre, Wyatt and Alexander. I mean, doesn't even make sense. The Usos defeat Dawson and Daivari. And Robert Roode defeats Akira Tozawa. AI logic. Cheers to the follow. Huggy winner. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the stream, man. We're heading towards Fyter Fest. Oh, Mick Foley, well, we'll put you as. I don't want to turn them. See, that annoyed me, the fact that it's got faces and heels. I'd rather just stick with the. Nobody has a. That's annoying. Nobody has a set alignment. Right, Impact fire Conan. Madison Rain gone from Impact. Kushida's up in the main roster, so is Robbie East. They're just going to have hundreds of people just sitting there. Oh my god, worst day ever. Great Khali's retiring. Oh, there'll be plenty of people I'm quite looking at. I just want to limit my recruitment. I said before, guilty is charged. They're just continually bringing people in. So you'll see it's no. I don't want to end up, WWE. Look at WWE. 57 wrestlers not used on television. 57, 50 of them fit, 7 injured. I don't want to be getting to that levels here, so we just have to make sure we're being a bit sensible. The 2 weeks anyway, mute my mic, need to itch my ear. There we go. As you can see there, WWE changing a lot of time slots for NXT. So they're going on to a graveyard stint. Looks fine. 2 days away. So Friday will be our hunt for a TV deal. Saturday will be our show. And then Monday will be our first television taping. I say we won't build up storylines, we'll just be ensuring of people facing each other, try to keep momentum at with decent level at people, try not to burn people out, and also just try to ensure continually gaining pop as quickly as possible without losing money. Just try to balance everything at once. It might be something imported in the database under Impact. So look. Company Wars, Impact. That's pretty much our full female roster, isn't it? They've only really got Sue Young. Like Taya Valkyrie down to Kira Hogan, 6. I noticed last night they got rid of Kira Hogan in last night, so I was looking to bring her in, but it's interesting. And I can see that Mike Kanellis has signed his new contract, so that's what it is. We'll keep an eye on Gabriel Gabuco. Right, so television broadcasting, TV controls. So we've got all Elite Wrestling, they've already got that there, I'm just going to edit that. So that will be Monday Night Dynamite. Don't have a logo yet, I don't even know if we've got an AEW logo in this yet. No. I'm lazy, let's just put a Thunder logo up. No logos have been made yet, so that's why. A-show, Monday night for everything. Showing on a Monday, just going to make it an hour, nice and simple, don't want to use too much money. Shorter matches, keep everybody fresh. So, you can see here we're on Fight TV in America, tiny, so not great exposure. But we've got that for 11 months, so we need to deal with that. E28 will beat that. ITV box office, B42, that's usually beatable. But we'll see what we can do. Just make sure we keep doing that, so that's fine. Medium again, 11 months. I'm tending to sign a lot of short-term contracts, just really on the basis to ensure that we are continually growing and signing the right contracts. So ESPN was the biggest one I could find. Actually, there's a lot more. Commercial USA, WNG America, or GN America was all medium. And I think the one I'm going to stick with is going to be. Oh, we're actually getting a lot better offers than we were last night. ESPN's medium, but the Paramount Network is big exposure. So small, medium, very small. I was looking for something that covers, if it covers America, good, but if we get more than America, there you go, America and Canada. Let's go a bit braver. Let's get Monday Night Dynamite on the Paramount Network. We're going to beat the primetime evening. Honestly, I want to ensure we're at least getting pop. So I want to go a bit more safer and maybe go a 6-month deal on early evening. If they'll give us it, they're going to give us that time slot, so we can get afternoon time slot, or we can get late night. And they're going to want to give us that. Oh, fuck it. On demand, 6-month deal, so it means if it's shite, we can get rid of it. So we're on the Paramount network. It's a lot of exposure, but we'll see how that goes. Nobody in Mexico should want to join us, that's fine. British Isles was the Fight Network. We can't get that because we've already got a deal going to be signed with Canada and that, so we'll only be able to show pay-per-views in the UK, and I don't know if anywhere in Europe wants us. Fight Network again, and Australia, none. So we're a partner on the old Spike TV according to Soja, so as I said, I don't know when it comes to American TV deals and stations and stuff like that. I barely keep up to date with what's happening in the UK. So that's going to be a Monday night, 1 hour. We got a couple of matches on that each week. Just need to remember every pay-per-view is going to be 2. So I think we're sitting at, I think it's at 90% matches. Double check that in my product. I should try and instill this in my memory. No, I'm not disputing it. I say I don't follow American TV, so I honestly couldn't tell you. Right. Oh no! Right before. This is the joy these kind of saves. John Moxley has an injury. He's going to be able to work through it, but we'll probably limit his match with Joey Janela then. It's just typical. Literally on the day. And he would be. It's only a 60 injury, so that's fine. Sema has got a bit of fatigue, that's fine. Product then, 80% matches, 60% on TV. I don't think you can find out who done it, unless it's you're actually doing it. Yeah, it's actually on your show. Division, face heel divide. I could change that to no. Aye, fuck it, we'll change that to no. It means we can just generally book MD. We don't need to have heels or faces, so we'll go with that. There we go, that'll save us getting penalties for the situation between Cody and Dustin. So that small injury is going to change one little thing. I'm basically going to look to then have a storytelling match. There's Ambrose and Janela. We'll check it later. Too late now. In fact, actually, no, I'm not. We just set the broadcasters first. There we go. So we're on Fight TV and ITV box office. Omega's off tonight. Yep, I said that was likely going to happen. And Moxley was fighting. Fucking hell, he's done 5 matches in Japan already. One of Tanahashi, Fale, or Lizuka. Yep, so unfortunately, because of the open contract situation, you're going to lose people to shows, so we are missing, as you said there, Randy, who won't be too much of a miss for what we're hoping to book. Kenny is going to be a pain there, so we basically have to make sure that we get to a high level with the company, where AEW becomes the priority. So maybe, in hindsight, the company should be a bit more higher popularity-wise, because I'm sure Kenny would take AEW over the rest. It's just the way the mod works out, but that's cool. Adds to the challenge, doesn't it? Alright, so that's our pre-booking. Cody versus Darby Allin. Maybe Darby Allin a bit of exposure. Some people just going to make it Cody. Do you know what? I'm actually going to make this steal the show. My reasoning for that is, it's another. I think Cody's going to want to steal the show in every event. So we'll have him and Darby Allin. Maybe a bit less than that because they could end up losing stamina. That could affect their match rating. Add to the pre-book as well, Janela and Moxley. So because of the injury, I don't want to risk Ambrose too much. We'll make it 9 minutes. I keep saying Ambrose, but I take time. Moxley with the win. Keep him looking strong. Pinfall. Storytelling. I wouldn't even make it tainted. I know, well, as I say, I know he's a heel. We don't have heels and faces now. Aha. Therefore, you're limited to searching everybody. That's fine. Cool, it means we can mix everything up. So I'm alright with that. Right, so I'm going to make a big main event for the pay-per-view. Let's make it 3v3. In fact, no, I'll make it 2v2. Because I need to try and make sure we get the high rating to ensure popularity is gained here. So, it's just out of habit, I will always go faces. I want to have Hangman Page. And I want to team him up with... Change my mind. 6-man. Again, habit. Gonna have Adam Page teaming up with Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, to take on Chris Jericho and to take on Penta and Rey Fenix. So we'll make that a 24-minute match, and we'll have Hangman. Hopefully, Rey Fenix will put him over, because we need to try and make sure he's in a good position to take on Jericho. Pinfall, slow build. Rey Fenix is unhappy. Keep strong, Rey Fenix. Please just take the fall here. Excellent. Good, good, good. So Cody v Darby Allin, Joey Janela versus Jon Moxley, Hangman Page, the Young Bucks against Jericho, and the Lucha Bros. Again, it's just making sure we get over that 48 rating. I know it sounds like we should, but you can't underestimate the low overness of some of the wrestlers in this. So we'll take a wee look and see what we've got in terms of still to be used. Let's put Shawn Spears in action. He's under a main eventer on this, which I don't think will be happening much longer. Something against Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Let's go with that. We'll have Jacob Friedman win. Pinfall tainted. So we'll put that in quite early. I'm also going to have a post-match angle. I need to import, or at least put the other ones as defaults. So now I should have post-match 2v1. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. So basically what I'm aiming to do here is have Shawn Spears be the victim of a 2-on-1 attack, and he'll be getting attacked by Maxwell Jacob Friedman and the Luchasaurus. I usually make most of my angles 5 minutes, so that's fine. We need to have a women's division match, so let's make it a 2v2. And in our women's division, I think we'll go with the team of Hikaru Shida, and she'll team up with, look at Britt Baker. Let's push Adam Cole's misses, and we'll have them take on the team of Nyla Rose and Bea Priestley. And we'll make it a 10-minute match, and we'll just really showcase what Hikaru Shida can do, and she can defeat Bea Priestley. I'll make it a pin. Most matches will have pinfall finishes. Might have the odd submission ones, but I do want to try and make it as many decisive finishes as we can. Let's get the big Kenta matchup. So, in fact, we won't have a Kenta matchup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have see Pack in the match. Hmm. No, no, no. I think you know where I'm going with who I'm having Kenta face. Let's have Pack against. Let's go simple. Let's go Brandon Cutler. Pack can get the win in 10 minutes. You don't want to give all the way the big matches straight away. So Pack can win there. If Sunny Days is in the roster there, then he's already in. It's the mod that's done it. It's the mod that's done it. I've no added any wrestlers in. I've just added in angles and gimmicks. So what we're going to do, Pack v Brandon Cutler, post match, we are going to have. Oh, there'll be plenty of stuff for the future, don't worry. We're going to have to book matches every week on television to gain pop and then the pay per view. Keep everything fresh as well. So we are going to have the victim to be Brandon Cutler, the attacker to be Pack, and Kenta to make the save. Meaning that Fight for the Fallen, should it not fuck us up in terms of people not being booked elsewhere. So that's going to kill every one of my plans if they are booked elsewhere. But we do intend to go Kenta versus Pack. It's too much a habit. It's going to take me a bit of adjusting not to click faces or heels. So should both men be available? I can't remember if Pack is available, but if he is, great. If not, just put back to All Out or whatever. So we technically could run with that show, but still a lot of people not being used, as you can see there. So I think we do need to utilise some of our lower card. So we will go with the team of let's go with Orange Cassidy teaming up with Marco Stunt. Basically how it where they don't really get on. And they can take on the team of Daniels and Kazarian. And because they two don't get along, we'll have Daniels picking up the win over Marco Stunt. Simple, effective, straight to the point, and that can be like your match leading up to Pack. So a few hype videos, I always will put in hype videos and promos, so we'll have a hype video for Pack, just to get the crowd excited for him. We'll have a post-match promo just scaring the world with John Moxley. Doesn't like to be scripted. Could have a comedy match. Could build up to that, I suppose. Promo at the start of the show, 6-person generic. Obviously be Cody, Nick and Matt Jackson. Obviously Kenny's not here, so we take him out. It should just make it 7 minutes. Just basically introducing everybody to the show. Leading into Cody's match. 125 minutes, so we could be good with that. But we'll have a pre-match special singles entrance for Chris Jericho. I could have added in like a few things in terms of like a massive band and stuff like that, but the fact they've only got 2.5 million kind of made me think, you know, let's just kind of reserve a bit of cash to start with, and then we'll kind of build up from there, see what happens. So the last thing we need to do before we actually book the show is set our arena. 4,500 fans, so a bit more expected than. I think we could look at that maybe even for the debut show. In fact, I'm going to note that down because again, I don't want to use everybody in this show because then you're not going to make too much money financially. So I'm going to make it the Anderson Arena just for the fact it's 4.7. It's in the Great Lakes where we are pretty much going to get more fans compared to elsewhere, quite evidently. So what I'm going to do is there we go, Monday Night Dynamite. The thing is, we can book matches in here and they don't necessarily need to be on the next episode. They can be like a couple of episodes down the line, just putting on good matches every week. That's the way I'm looking to book the show anyway. So Best Friends can take on Smash Bros. So we'll have that in Monday's show. Right, we're ready to see how this goes. Worryingly, Janela, I don't know if I want Janela that high, like Moxley. I will risk it. So this could go horribly wrong, always as if it were the first show. There we go, this is AEW Fyter Fest 2019. So, put this message. Cutting a promo to start the show is the Young Bucks and Cody, hyping up, here we go, another event, let's crack on from Double or Nothing. So D plus 50, pretty standard for where they're at in overness. Got to show off to a strong start and got the crowd hotter. 4,500 at the Anderson Arena, so hopefully that should get us a bit of money. But of course you need to remember we're paying a lot of people to be here. So another thing I notice as well is we'll get a lot of working improvements. So he's learning to show more charisma. Like we notice in the matches there'll be a few low ratings but a lot of skill gains. And that will improve over time. So we start off then, poor match. Cody defeats Darby Allin in 11:51 with the Crossroads. A D44, Darby Allin was off his game and was visibly tiring. You can see there, it got the crowd buzzing, which is good. Darby Allin was just a 20 performance, so we've got a long way to go with him in terms of getting him to a good level. Cody improves performance skills. See the few negatives there. Stamina. And Darby Allin try to go all out. It's maybe a pressure situation for Darby Allin that he's maybe not quite succeeded in, but you've got to let him somewhere. But the terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, we had Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker defeat Nyla Rose and B Priestley. 9:43. E plus 33. Nyla Rose is not suited to her gimmick. That's cool, we'll maybe look into that. Although I do want to kind of. I don't know how I really perceive her in this. Like, I do want to push her at one point, but do I go straight away with that push or do I hold off? But good to know that her and B have excellent chemistry, so that's a tag team down the line. But you can see a lot of skill improvements there for Britt and Nyla. That's good to see, and not as many negatives as I was expecting, so that's pretty good. Because you're kind of starting off your women's division here as well, and giving these ladies exposure. Terrible match. Maxwell Jacob Friedman defeated Shawn Spears by using underhanded tactics, just an E31. MJF off his game, both men didn't click, so that affected their performance. A 17 in ring performance for MJF, so we are really going to hope to try and seek to improve him over time. But that's the thing, they'll get over and they'll get gaining skills, so you hope over time your shows are just going to get better and better and better. Shawn Spears was celebrating before, well, I say celebrating, he was in the ring and he got beat up. I just use that as a quick way to kind of do a 2-on-1 beatdown. So crowd was brought down a little bit, more so because obviously the lack of overness of MJF and the Lucha Soros. About the had decent wrestling but little heat. The Addiction defeated Orange Cassidy and Marco Stunt in 8:49 when Daniels defeated Stunt with the Angel's Wings. Interestingly, Orange Cassidy was the weak link, so Marco Stunt could be a player here in AEW. But a D plus 50, you're always going to get good ratings with Kazarian and Daniels before their physical decline, and hopefully they can help with development. It's also them in a kind of mentoring role. They're helping the younger wrestlers in the ring, getting them skill points by working with good workers, and Daniels' declining physical ability. Hype video for Pac, just get an E26. Ugh, not good. And his matchup was subpar. What a heat. But he did defeat Brandon Cutler in 10:38 with a Black Arrow. He's also getting a D44. So you can see why we basically made it at the level we are in terms of what kind of popularity we need to increase overness in certain areas with shows. Because sometimes we're going to have to put up like a main event like this just to keep stuff fresh. Oh, that's a shocking goal to concede. Sorry, I was watching the Fitba. So after the match, Brandon Cutler's been attacked by Pac. Seeing the assault, Kenta comes in to debut and he chases Pac off. So an initial rating of average for a badass legitimate gimmick, which is fair enough, that's how I would book. Would build up Kenta. And yeah, it cooled the crowd a little bit, which is worrying because you think they two would make something good happen in that kind of environment, but E24. To be honest, the push will be MJF and Luchasaurus, and probably use Shawn Spears as more as an overstart to put people over. But hey, we've built to it, so we'll probably just put something in random, just to help the overness of MJF and the Luchasaurus. So again, to help us, John Moxley cuts a promo. This is why I've done it. B-72. You're always going to get better ratings with John Moxley. Improvised well. Alex Marvez was weak, but it got the crowd interested. I don't think him and Janela's going to do very well. Janela's not really over in game. So you can see there, decent matchup, but Moxley defeats Janela 9-25 in Moxley. You can see the much better performance by Moxley with his injury as well. Getting better at his gimmick. And interesting that it's a good pairing between Janela and Penelope Ford despite them splitting up. So we'll keep them together. But I need to remember, it's a storytelling match as well, so if we don't have that storytelling because of the injury, it could have been even higher. Chris Jericho makes his over-the-top entrance. Again, this was to try and make sure we gain pop, so having these kind of guys having these big angles was to hopefully give us a better chance. And that means our main event, not amazing. Decent matchup, Adam Page and the Young Bucks defeat Jericho and the Lucha Bros in 23-34, when Adam Page defeats Rey Fenix with the Rite of Passage. Hangman was a weak link, but again we need to build him up. We need him to have a level of overness for that championship match, because the overness he's carrying just now, that title match won't even be a main event, I think, at this rate. So that's when you work on in the next 8 weeks of television. I make him a threat to Jericho because there's a huge difference in his rating to Hangman's. But hopefully that's the start of something, and it's a good win, even not win there. C-54, we end the show. Obviously Matt Jackson gets an injury. C-56, and we gain pop in 16 regions. So, well, it doesn't seem like the biggest or greatest show ever. It's a success in that regard too. It done what it was set out to do. So we'll make a speech, and I think we'll give props to Daniels and Kazarian and Marco Stunt. Just praise them for good performances. Try and keep positive morale here, but happy with that. It's a good opener. We won't get a true reflection if it was a good month or a bad month until we get into July. So we'll see how TV affects it. I think what we'll do is we'll probably have Best Friends against the Smash Bros. And we'll have some sort of confrontation between Shawn Spears and MJF. But there'll be a lot of people will like lose pop for, and it will severely hamper the rating of the show, but we need to build people up as well. So like unknowns, like in terms of this database, Luchasaurus could be somebody we need to build up, so we'll need to take a hit every so often. So EW Fyter went down really well, Fyter Fest. Excellent, that's good to see. Matt Jackson, that's not too bad an injury, that's okay. So Moxley needs time to heal. Buy rate was less than 0.01, and the TV rating was 0.02. So again, it's just not great ratings, but we need to get there slowly but surely. We need to take the company over. Darby Allin doesn't get it, says Kenta. And Orange Cassidy doesn't get it, says Dean Malenko. Well, it's hard to say, gents. I don't care what you used to think. Dustin Rhodes is unhappy, as was Tommy Dreamer, just because they weren't on the show. That's going to be another thing. A lot of people will be unhappy because I can't use everyone. And you can see there we haven't really made a lot of money, but we're 71k up. And that's as we are a big event. We've still got a lot of debts to pay at the end of the month as well. So we might actually lose a lot of money to start with before we gain it. So we'll crack on. Now go into our TV show. I'm hoping once we get to like, mid 2020 and that, we'll be able to get to a situation where we can just sign anybody, and I think it's going to get really fun once the company's built up. Because that's the thing, like my TNA save in like TW 2013, we never got the company to that next level because it was just taking that long. And obviously I was booking it as a YouTube show, so I was doing one episode per whatever. This is literally go, 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 go. So there's every chance if we play at a good pace, we could be seeing some interesting stuff, because we'll get to the stage, we'll take on WWE, we'll declare war. We'll try and get development companies, we'll try and, as I say, finance a lot of stuff, not finance, but investment stuff, like get a dojo, stuff like that. Yep, so you'll get things like that, you'll get Angelo Dawkins was in the last one as well. So just the way mod works, if they see somebody that's at a high enough level, well, more so in this, it's basically if other skills are maxed out, they'll just say, right, they get called up. So here's our TV debut for Monday Night Dynamite, even though it's Monday. Did we take the afternoon slot or did we take the evening? I can't even remember. Anyway, Dustin Thomas is now the protege of Christopher Daniels. So I just need to check something. So we're going to have lesser crowds at this because it's a TV show. I can't even check broadcasting, so I was going to check and see what rating I needed to get. So let's see how I could make my main event. But we'll go all out. No pun intended, I keep doing that, and that's annoying. So what I want to check actually, pre-booking. So we've already booked in Kenta v Pac, the Rhodes Brothers v the Young Bucks, which could, he'll be fine, he'll be back to injury. Cena v Kenny Omega. Right, that's fine. So we might not even have Brandy v Ali either. It's more of a main event I'm trying to think of because I need to make sure we're gaining pop. I want to obviously include Moxley, but at the same time, right, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. In fact, no, I know what I'm doing. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. So sometimes we need to give a good match away in television as well. So tonight we're going to have Kenny Omega. And we're going to have Kenny Omega take on Penta El Zero. We need to make it a big match. It's the first match you're timing on telly. So we'll give them 14 minutes to get the win. Right, it's cool. Now that work around this, I wanted to give Kenny a good strong debut, but we'll then go with Penta with the win to keep him happy. Again, we'll make it steal the show all out. Pinfall victory, but it's going to be tainted because we are going to have a distraction on Kenny Omega by Jon Moxley. Meaning, should Omega be fit, it'll be him against Cena. And then we can add in Omega, Moxley for All Out. And if Kenny's not there, we'll just put it to like the show before the Monday Night Dynamite. We'll just need to work around it, but we'll definitely at one point have Omega and Moxley. And there we go, early build to it. I know Cena's facing Kenny, but the people can wait a bit, the fans can wait a bit. I'm sure that's something that Vince McMahon would do. So, Kenny Omega, pen to L0, and then that means your post-match is 2-on-1. It's not 2-on-1, it's 1-on-1, because it's just the one man attacking. So your victim would be Kenny Omega, your attacker would be Jon Moxley, and in a cheap shot, just to make sure we do get the best rating possible, Jon Moxley can cut a promo on Kenny as well for 5 minutes. So there you go, that's like half the show booked, and it's just my main event. So we'll have a few matches preparing for that. Let's have that match that we promised everybody. So add to pre-booking. That can be... Because the thing is, I won't have to wrestle too long on these shows either, it's only an hour. I don't want to make it 2 hours straight away, I want to get into the save, if you know what I mean. I want to try and get fluid, and like, I don't want to just be booking like, oh, we've done a stream, and we've done one pay-per-view and one episode of TV. I want to try and get us a couple of weeks in. So we'll have Evil Uno, because he looked a bit intimidating, and he can pin the gentleman Chucky T. Yeah, pinfall. That's fine. We're going to have to get used to me doing that because I'm still not used to it. Jungle Boy, in action against Michael Jacob Friedman. 6 minutes, simple match. MJF wins. Promo. That's a storytelling match. That's booked in. That's fine. Promo. Singles. And we'll have MJF. It's Mick Foley. Where is he? Oh, Max. I was going to say Michael Jacob Friedman. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And he can cut that promo on Sean Spears. And just so we don't forget, and so he gets the ratings boost as well, he does have a manager, and that manager is the Luchasaurus. So then he'll hopefully get some boost as well. Fuck, maybe we might need to go anywhere. I think all the people that's missing it in this episode, just because we're basing it around Kenny and Penta having a really good show, really good matchup. Because I need to focus on obviously the 40% just being matches, the rest being, there we go, Cody and Dustin, Nick and Matt Jackson. So that's them setting up for a fight for the Fallen. That match, that promo can get in there. Analysis, what am I missing? I need to make that storytelling as well. It may be quite quick before we go 2 hours as well, by the way. Just purely so we get everybody in the show. But we shouldn't lose too much money, we'll just have a lot of people very unhappy. What we'll have is a wee match up, we'll have Tommy Dreamer, we'll have him in action. And Tommy Dreamer can take on Hangman Page and hopefully do as a turn and put Hangman over. So we can build them up at nowhere. That's fine. So that'll be our opener. And then you're really hoping that, you know, they can bring the show back after, no doubt these two will drop it down a little bit. Hangman will lose a minute his match, and Kenny and Penta will lose a minute. So there we go. That is your Monday Night Dynamite. We'll see how it goes. If we just go to size, you can see here we basically need to be 45 rating to get over in the Great Lakes, the Southwest and the Southeast. So we should. Half of them are still questioning what I need to actually get in the areas, if it is definitely that or something else. But we'll keep booking in the Great Lakes for just now, just continually utilising that market. The worry is it seems the States is in a decline, but eventually we will move to like shows in the UK, etc., just to make sure we're getting a world title. So 3,000, and we'll be at the. Go to Kentucky. So, is there any predictions for what we think the show will score? Because it really could be anything. $59? That sounds a bit fair. I'd probably say that's kind of what we're looking at. Maybe just a wee bit low. But we're hoping again your angles at the end are the ones that get you there. So let's see. So, and about it didn't have much heat in a sold out Cliff Hagan Stadium. Page defeats Streamer 602 with a rite of passage, E plus 33. Page is off his game, although getting a better rating there. No skill improvements worrying. But most of your negatives there are for Tommy Dreamer. Terrible match. MJF defeated Jungle Boy 544 with a Swanton Bomb. Jungle Boy was not suited to his gimmick. MJF was off his game again. That's 282. Two very poorish ratings. We didn't lose the crowd, which is good. I was worried about that. But an E27. So you can see there is a lot we're needing to build up with the lower card, as they've obviously not been rated as highly. Although promo was good from MJF, hyping just what's going down with Sean Spears, so it was a D42. I got the crowd hotter. So we're not looking close to the 56 or 59 predictions so far. Co-main. And about the subpar wrestling and Little Heat, the Super Smash Bros. Defeated the Best Friends in 1205, and Evil Uno defeated Chuck Taylor with a fatality. Stu Grayson carried the match. D43, oh yeah, you can see there in the ratings, quite considerable how much Stu Grayson was better than the rest. And obviously excellent chemistry for the Smash Bros. A lot of skill improvements, so that's going to benefit us going forward. The promo between the Rhodes Brothers and the Young Bucks was a D plus 49. So it's a way to get them on the show, keep them happy, avoid using Nick Wee's injury, and giving us a decent rating. Sorry, than the pre-booking. And your main event, a decent matchup. We had Penta El Zero defeating Kenny Omega in 12:54 with a Lanza after a distraction from John Moxley. C60 got the crowd buzzing. 52 Kenny, 56 Penta. I think they will be changed from Super Smash Bros, but I think I'll keep it at that just now. As soon as AEW confirms they're going to be called something different, we'll probably chuck them to that. But because they're kind of already there, rather than somebody we're bringing in, we'll keep them with that just now. But we'll keep an eye on that one. Kenny improves Rumble. This is all down to John Moxley if he can get as close to those predictions of 56 and 59. Beatdown was only a 48D+. Kenny underperformed, but Moxley's getting better at his gimmick. And the promo is a B81, so that's very promising. Moxley just hypes up him versus Omega. Just basically berates Omega. Enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. Announcing quality lifted the match, or lifted the segment, I should say. On to Truth. C59 nailed it. Puggy the winner, Puggy Fuggy winner nails it on the spot. A C59. The show increases at 18 popularities. I'm assuming that will be America and Canada. We're not really showing anywhere else, but that's basically what we need to do every week. Is basically have a John Moxley promo, and that will carry the show. Love that near the end of the show, then we should have a good event. But that's positive. It's gaining the popularity. All we need to do now is by the end of the week make sure we are in profit. I'm happy with that. It's never going to be exceptional. It's the same with even WWE. WWE people always start off with 70 rated shows. I know I did, and then by the end of it I was getting 90s every week, just because it takes you a bit of time to find out what works and what people you can get over. But I'm interested to see how the game world evolves in this. I especially look forward to future TW mods when a lot more people are jumping and AEW is more financially bankrolled. It'll be a proper war. Feedback from viewers, the show was awesome. So fans are happy and Raw's just enjoyed the show. And to be honest, we're only 6,000 fans off Raw, so we'll get there eventually. See if there's anything there. It's more so WWE people. I'm looking to see who get fired because they're the ones blink and you miss it. Other people at CMML are always going to be in open contracts usually anyway, so you can usually seek to get them over there. Actually, we've lost about how many people there? A lot of people. Have they MD left? Just looking. Jesus Christ. Alright, so Orange Cassidy wants a better push, that's fine. Dynamite get a 0.11 TV rating, so that's our basis to start with. We need to, obviously, that's worse ratings in TNA, so we've got a long way to go. But that is to say why we're signing short-term contracts, because then we can push it to a higher spot once we're ready for it. Malenko and Penta don't like. I like Jungle Boy, I like Cassidy. So, thankfully not too many people pissed off not being on television. I think we made 20 grand out of that show. So, yeah, it's going to be a long grind. I don't give them a... They can all stay with small morale issues. I can't afford to give out $1 bonuses, but we'll give you a bit of push anyway. So he's going to go from an opener up to a mid-card. Holy shit, that's quite a jump. Must have had a match somewhere that wasn't with us. No, he's only had one fight against Dame, and that's managed to boost him up. Cheers, Soldier, much appreciated. I think I'm going to go Twitch going forward for TW, but never say never. It's just the fact I feel you're kind of setting a time limit to day shows on Twitch. Meanwhile, sorry, on YouTube, but Twitch you can just kind of roll with it. Plus, if I don't have music, then it's non-copyrighted, so it's sat back. If people, obviously, like people in America like to watch it, then they can do it in their own time. They can whatever. But we'll see. Obviously, we need to see how TW 2020 goes. But I think it was just more the fact I've got more time to sit and chill and book it on the fly rather than, especially with the WWE save was trying to book like a month of television. A month of television was just brutal to try and do in a week on my schedule. I know the reason I went with wrestling, I just felt there'd be more audience maybe would find it. And it's such a niche game and a niche market. I don't think a lot of wrestling fans know about it. So it's like trying to really introduce a lot of people to this game that, well, we probably found browsing the internet. I can't remember how I found DWR, but I found DWR and then eventually just started watching Rick's stuff, and then I was like, nah, let's get involved in TW. And I couldn't get back to TWR, so at the same time, it's cool having the internet and streaming and all that, but at the same time, it's like such a niche market. Like, just try to let people know here. This is like, you don't like what Vince is booking, like, you know, date yourself. There's a chance for you to actually go and book yourself and have all the creative freedom you want in the world. Alright, so this will be the key indication whether we are going to make it or not, or how much a challenge this will be. Once we get to the first week of July, and that'll let us know how we are financially. Cause it's all good using the big names all the time, but it's those big names that could be the ones that fuck you, your balance sheet. Alright, let's have a look. SmackDown. Nah, nothing really there. There'll be a lot of times, I say at the start as well, the older wrestlers will start to kind of get there. It could be someone we look at. I think there'll probably be a good few signings, I think, when we jump to 2 hours. Once we get confident in the save, so probably not likely in this stream, but once we get like a few shows in, go to 2 hours. As I say, there'll be a lot of people we won't be using that will just get released, but I think they're mostly in 2-year deals. I need to check that in a minute as well. Because the worry as well is you get people that over, they don't want to re-sign. You know, we could easily have Moxley at such a high level, he thinks he's far bigger than the company. Jungle Boy with a complaint now? Okay, now. Yep, that's pretty much it. As I say, I was really reluctant to make the jump. I thought this would be just too much. But once I did make the jump to it was TW 2013, I made the jump. I think it was like 2014 I bought it. And then after that, I was like, I can't go back. Just so many options, and the whole fact you're getting a lot more of the world you'll see what everybody else was doing. When in reality, in EWR, you could just book Evan Bourne against another fast wrestler. And if you do him at high speed, you were getting an 80 rated match. And he was somebody that just abused the hell out in that game, was Evan Bourne. Obviously, when he was Evan Bourne. We're going to check contracts, aren't we? Oh, that's worrying. Thought I'd do about 2 years, but nope. So Kazarian could be a worry, and then you're looking at Penta quite early, so you don't want to push them too much. But at least John Moxley's at least a year and 8 months, so that's fine. That's fine. I can deal with that. Just going to make sure Fight for the Fallens. 2 hours as well. I'd rather have it the second annual all in and change it every year rather than be all in too. So that we'll push that as the second annual all in. So we'll have all out and all in. The new NXT tag team. Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair. As I say. A lot of it doesn't make sense. You get some baffling ones, that's for sure. It can be a simple case they have the same alignment and it just goes, right, cool. They're both heels, let's just pair them together. It doesn't take normal logic into it. Mm-hmm. Once you do a lot of real world mods, you just kind of get used to it. On the subject of the people, the backgrounds, I don't think I've changed my backgrounds in probably 3 years since I first got the game and it first became available. So you still get Alistair Black as Tommy End in Progress. It's a lot of older stuff, just the way it is. Impact, I've got I don't know who Dez is, and Vikas Kumar. Okay. I mean, stuff like that. Matt Bloom and Norman Smelling up to main roster to be agents. Just alright. It's not going to happen in real life, but yeah. Moxley's back at 100%. That's good. Quicker we can get him away from New Japan, the better. But yeah, it's just going to keep getting his popularity up in Japan. So there's that as well. But until we're a bigger company than New Japan, he's not going to reject them for us. The game will see us as a second option. I've got an idea. Because I'm absolutely shite with remembering stuff, I'm going to do this, because obviously we do want a wee bit of stream involvement. I'm going to wait till Notepad comes up. Any ideas we get, we'll lob them in that. Because I know if I start writing down an actual physical notepad, then I'm just going to end up booking like a year in advance, so that's not what we want. So, socials ideas. Sensible that. As I said, I do have, hundreds of notepads kicking about, but I just end up writing that much shit, and I could end up just honestly sitting one day, and just booking a year worth of television because it's only an hour, and just go, I want to see that, I want to see that, I want to see that, and just think that my ideas. To Neil, if you get another shouts for the women's division, because there's quite a few I've got, I'd probably like to look at signing Tessa. Probably be looking at Ashley Lane, Madison Rain, whatever incarnation she is. Obviously, if we do get to a stage where we can be aggressively pursuing them, you like bringing in Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Io Shirai, etc., etc. To name a few. And obviously Raiden for a lot of NXT UK talent as well. Tony Storm, Nikki Cross, etc. Notepad. How do you spell Tennille? We'll say that's how she spells it. We'll put it as hell no, unless we like to find something really funny and job them out to somebody. We'll have Jungle Boy beat them in a one-off appearance. But it's a lot of people that we want to sign, like Matt Cross and Sean Ricker, eventually, if we, as they were thriving in money. as a regional company, we can't be sitting with 50, 60 wrestlers. That's the problem. So it's people that will see, once we get to that position, what kind of physical state they're in and what kind of age they're in, and then we'll go for there. And Stiggins isn't half, he's not getting his end zone cast. So they'll end up turning into WWE Light. They want to try and make some people who have been with AEW since inception to get over. Comedy team for Orange Cassidy? That's a good thing as well, because you start in June. A month in, you get Wrestler of the Year. So Tanahashi wins that. Company of the Year will go to New Japan. Team of the Year, I'm just going to go through them quickly because you've done a month. Do you know what I mean? Naito and Takahashi. Man of the match was Ishii against Tanahashi. We probably won't compete in this kind of stuff until maybe a couple of years in. Show of the Year went to Air Japan Dynamite Series. Young Wrestler went to Yuma Aoyagi. I'm butcher that. Ishii wins Veteran. Dash Chizako wins Female Wrestler of the Year. So a lot of Japan stuff because they obviously had a lot more shows than everybody else. ROH have got rid of both Velvet Sky and Angelina Love. Money in the Bank, let's have a laugh at that. Well, we thought they were going to job out. Gallows and Anderson are tag team champs. Just goes to show you. How bad was Money in the Bank? Let's check. Right, so it was a long show. A very, very, very long show. Only a C plus 69, so you can see how close we're getting already. If you tuned in for the pre-show, you would have got Eric Young against Drew Gulak. You have exciting matches such as Mojo Rawley against Lindsay Dorado, Bobby Fish and Apollo Crews. Bryan and Rowan against the Singh brothers, but only winning through count-out. Ricochet getting disqualified against Rey Mysterio. The Iconics against the Riot Squad. Bayley defeating Mandy Rose by DQ. Gallows and Anderson defeating Hawkins and Ryder. Becky defeating Tamina. Jesus fuck, Tamina, really? Oh, Jesus. Finn Balor defeats R-Truth. The Miz, Xavier Woods and Bobby Lashley defeat Wyatt and the B-Teams. They've obviously turned Bobby Lashley. Seth Rollins defeats Kane for the Universal title, which is our main event in 2019. Oh my god, the AI booking in this game at times is absolutely... Because the ones that I'm iffy on in terms of like what we've got, is it still too early for Brian Pillman Jr.? And the ones I don't know anything about, so there's going to be a few wrestlers I'm kind of clueless about, but maybe I should know more about Imai Sakura. But a few of the Joshi wrestlers, I'm just like, I don't have that much knowledge that I should have, but that's what AEW is. It was my introduction to a lot of them. I'd only heard of Rio and Hikura Sida because I had used them before in this, but I'd never even seen Yuka Sakase, and she was quite class. I enjoyed her performance. So, we actually made profit, a massive £85,394 So we've got a long way to go before we're matching WWE. So we'll need to just keep getting good shows and good popularity. Because the Rosemary thing is a well factored in if Brandy against Ali actually happens. Man, Raven was somebody I used to use all the time in old saves, man. I just loved his. See if I could just have somebody just talking promos all the time, it was Raven, man. So you can see there, that's why we financially can't sign 9 million people either, because we need to get that. If we get the momentum up, prestige will go, money will go alongside it. No bother. Right, so let's have a look. Regional battles. You finish first out of 8 in the Great Lakes, first out of 6 in the Mid-Atlantic, first out of 5. To be honest, we finished first in every regional battle. So that's good. Companies won't be catching us because we'll be damaging their rep. And MPW, Mention Nuclear Pro, so let's say Melbourne. That should not be a written deal. So that's a not bad start. Let's have a look at our calendar. So tonight we're missing Pac, Sima, and Lindemann. We're missing I fucking knew we'd be missing Kenny. Brandy. So the alley match will be off. Missing Kenny and Pac as well. So Kenta v Pac will probably get moved. And Kenny v Sima is going to get moved as well. That's so annoying. Who the fuck's your plans like that? You go the week before you miss Excalibur as well, and every other Saturday you're pretty much missing the same people. Oh well, we'll just make it on an episode of Monday Night Dynamite. So I think we'll book this episode of Monday Night Dynamite, we'll book the following week's episode of Monday Night Dynamite, and I'll probably call it quits there, so it'll probably take us to about 5, and that'll give us a good 3-hour stream. We'll see if we can maybe get something up after the Champions League final, should there not be any F1. Which I'm just got to check. Right, let's see. We're only missing Pac for tonight. We'll continue in the Great Lakes while we can. And we'll put this one in the Sullivan Athletic Centre. So my main event, again as I fall to that. Right. So the only ones that are definitely going to go ahead is pretty much the Rhodes Brothers against the Young Bucks. The rest are all basically going to be canned to probably television. So we will have a main event tonight where we will have Cody teaming up with John Moxley to take on Chris Jericho and Dustin. I don't want to put Dustin with. In fact, let's try and get him some main event exposure. I didn't want to put Cody and Dustin together until they play the Young Bucks or they fight the Young Bucks. I want that to be the first time they're together. I know it's only a game in that, but it's still something I'd want to see. So what I'm going to go is just try and give some people exposure as well. So we're going to have a 15-minute match. Moxley will get the win, keeping his momentum going. Shawn Spears will take another loss. He'll take the L. Pinfall. But this is going to be purely on the basis of a distraction from MJF. Now, I know it sounds weird. He's been booked as a face. He's been booked as a heel. The reality is, we don't do heels and faces here, so they can team up with whoever as long as they fight. So that'll be our main event. That's cool. I would like to try. Look at that. I'm going to try this a solo match because I want to book something for the pay-per-view. So if I go in Helico, against Frankie Kazarian. We'll give them 12 minutes to steal the show, with Angelico picking up the win. And we'll keep Kazarian strong. Should we get Glacier on this show? So basically what I do for Fight for the Fallen, because I've lost a few matches, 2v2, I would like to book the Addiction against Los Guerreros del Cielo. Book that in. Screw it, let's book Glacier in action, let's get him in there. So he's an occasional wrestler, what's his pop at? 15. Right, so Glacier will be in action. And he will take on... He's somebody that's over to make sure the match isn't like terrible. Oh, Scott, he's even more over on the Scorpio Sky. I'm hoping that Scorpio gets over with his performance. He'll be the one that wins it. 5-minute win. Scorpio Sky will pick up the tainted win. We'll make that our storytelling match. There we go. So 3 matches, 1 more to book. We'll give that opportunity to the women's division. A 1v1 matchup. And I think we'll go with... Who's got good... No, they're just minor. Britt Baker. And we'll have her take on... Let's go with Yuka Sakazaki. Let's see what she can do. And we'll have it as a 8-minute match. And Britt Baker will pick up the win. We'll try and make her probably the face of the women's division, I'd imagine. So 7 minutes more to book, so that is just going to be the rest of the show. So I'm going to have a formed alliance during the show between Chris Jericho and Shawn Spears. So that's going to take up 5 minutes. That should get a good rating for entertainment purposes. That will basically go there to get the crowd back interested. We're going to have a promo as well, where we have just Jon Moxley on Chris Jericho. So effectively, we can build up to that in the future as well. That'll get 5 minutes. So that's cool. That'll be our precursor to the main event. Let's have a hype video for Kenta. We'll have a promo from Maxwell Jacob Friedman on Shawn Spears. Means we need to cut a minute. Sorry, Britt. It was in 2 minutes. It takes some time out of that as well, because I want to start the show off strong. So in true WWE fashion, we'll have an opening promo. I'm just going to have something with Cody and Dustin. Just saying, no, we're tagging together just now, eventually, but not tonight. Glacier could lose a minute. Boom! There you go. Covering a bit of all bases with this particular episode. We have agreed that is in that stadium, Sullivan Centre, that's fine. Right, let's hope we can continue to gain popularity, importance, and let's ensure that we're not losing a lot of money, because we're using a few more wrestlers today. So sold out, 3,000 Rhodes Brothers promo, it's a C-54. Good start. So the crowd were killed a little as Scorpio Sky defeated Glacier. In fact, it had little heat and embarrassing wrestling. So it just shows you that other side of it, but a 16 or 22 rating for in-rings. So I think Glacier will be one of those ones that will probably go quite quickly. Kenta hype video was just an E-21. And Britt Baker, the match killed the crowd a little bit as well. but she did win with a Baker Buster 604 and E-23 against Yuka Sasaki. Promo from MJF against Shawn Spears was an E plus 33. Not bad, a bit more opportunity for him and more exposure. There we go. Chris Jericho and Shawn Spears make the announcement that they're going to be tagging tonight. D plus 48. Shawn Spears was poor off script. Jericho looked good, but it got the crowd interested again. That's all we're looking for, just getting them back on our side. As long as the main event draws, the overall rating should be fine, and you build up people during the show. But they had decent wrestling. Little Heat and Helico defeats Frankie Kazarian. E plus 35, so probably could have been a bit better, but I don't think Angelico's is over in the States. But a lot of good skill improvements there, and that will lead to obviously the tag match at Fight for the Fallen. Moxley promo gets the crowd hotter, B-74. That's what you want, nice and simple. And main event, our best match so far. In a good match with Cody and Jon Moxley defeat Chris Jericho and Shawn Spears in 1509 when Jon Moxley defeated Shawn Spears with a one-hitter after a distraction from Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Weak link with Shawn Spears, but you can see there 270 performances, a 57 for Cody and a 42 for Shawn Spears. Basically using all the ex-WWE guys, but you need to use their overness to help where you want to go. A few skill improvements, and overall, C59 again, keeping it consistent. Because there you look at a good strong main event, but a pretty subpar show until then, you could say. And it increases the pop in 18 regions. So again, nice and slowly making that progression in the first couple of weeks of the save before eventually the money will kick in and we can start going right written contract for you. Because that's it as well, you know, we can't exactly be paying written contracts and the big money people want until we're at least probably national level. Honestly, a 0-0 draw. I don't want either team to win. Liverpool, you won't hear the end of it. Tottenham, you won't hear the end of it because they haven't signed them. Like, regardless, whoever wins, the English media is just going to hype it up like nothing else. But that's what it is. Yourself, what are you thinking? Nothing there. Raw has changed. Oh, to a late night in a graveyard. So WWE could be in real trouble here if we can get to where we need to be. I've already read that one, I just didn't delete it. 0.11. Yeah, Jericho likes Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Go on. But to get an idea, so that's his overness. So it's pretty hard to see, but in most places he's gained approximately between 9-10 overness. Apart from the Tri-State where he's gained 4 overness, but it's went from an F plus to an E minus. So it's slow and gradual, but he's getting there. So again, just a matter of patience and then you eventually get there. So that's good to see. He's only 23 as well. So there's plenty of time to improve his skills and get to where he wants to be. WWE might be worth looking at just to see how they go. So we'll stick to what they're doing. No title announced or confirmed until All Out, and that's when we'll go with Page against Jericho. So we'll start the proper push of Hangman Page as well. I think momentum's down, but prestige is up, so that's strange. Let's go check. And the good thing is, because we're starting from pretty much scratch, if we go to AEW, there, and history, we'll have all the shows, so there'll be 3 out of the 5 shows in its existence now. And top 100 events will pretty much, it'll be quite hard to see. So I think that's a 55, but you'll get the 100 matches. So Cody and Moxley, Jericho Spears is the best match ever. So a wee bit tricky to make out because of the fitting the number in as well, but no, that's quite cool. You can see the difference between a pay-per-view and a TV. Let's quickly go to schedule. Let's see who's missing for next week's Monday Night Dynamite. Oh my god, a Wednesday where nobody's working? Can we move the event to a Monday? Wednesday, sorry. So it turns out for the next event we actually do have Pac. We're just missing Omega, Jerry Lynn and Brandy Rhodes. And this episode came up, we're only missing Pac. So that's quite good. On Monday we just seem to be missing Pac. But as I say, we'll get that match that we want at one point. So I thought we'd fly through this, and we've done a month in 2.5 hours. But it's always going to be like that. Once you start getting into the flow of who you're booking, who's wearing what, who's available, flies. And especially now, as I say, when they start retiring people, companies have their rosters in check. You're jamming. So there you go. Scotty 2 Hotty called up to the main roster. But for that, Will Ospreay wins the United States Championship. Once we get quite far in, probably I'd say about 6 months in, I do want a mid belt, so we will be taking suggestions for a mid-tier belt. Let's see what happens. I think there'll be a lot more throwing money about once we get to like 4 million in the bank as well. Also, any predictions for NXT tonight? Let me know what you're thinking ahead of that. I could look at joining Alliance at one point. Another thing could be worth looking into. Welcome back, buddy. That's the thing, it's like you could bring in like the NWA Championship and all that, or we could effectively make every title's an AEW title. Because we don't really know what kind of route they're going to go. I'm getting there's a box tonight as well. So Joe, I don't really like boxing. I don't know if that's weird or anything, but it's never really been particularly something I've got into, which is weird because I enjoy watching mixed martial arts UFC. And obviously our predetermined WWE, wrestling I should say. Well, the AEW title's there, but the reality is I'll make it the AEW heavyweight title, and as soon as I know I've booked it in 5 different countries, so I'll keep a note in Notepad, we'll then turn it into a world title. Women's title we'll make eventually once we know who we're going to push, and we'll have a mid-tier title and a tag title as well. They're standard titles. We're going to take wins and losses into account? Probably not. I know they are doing that, but I just feel we could get hot on somebody, and then somebody could get a big push. Somebody could like be losing a lot here, for example, and then end up winning in our company. And because they're so over and so skilled, we have to push them. So we'll probably rely more on momentum and just generally who we're feeling, but we'll see. Let's sign Ryan Reeves. No thanks. I think I'll avoid that one. Ryback just never done it for me. Not against the guy, I just never really got invested into the character. Some people will, some people won't. But actually interesting to see where he ends up in this. Hmm. Someday. Oh, you wouldn't even sign him. It's been that long since I've had the Kappa signs. It's mad to think you're probably talking us about 10 years ago that he was Black Machismo. Mad. Fuck it, let's make an aggressive play like Jellyful. Just want you in a 1 year deal. I know I've not been on Twitch properly in about 2 years. Let's have a look. Shane Matthews is in a relationship with Jessamine Duke. Shane Matthews isn't he? What is Shane Matthews? Have I idea who I think it is? Nah, it's not. I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was fucking Shane Fawn. So I need to try and work around how I can basically like go, oh, by the way, Pac's not here. UFC on before the final? Depends what time it's on. If it's on shortly, why not? I'll probably put it on. I'll put it in BT. If it's on BT, that is. Let me look. TV guide. That's on there now. Oh, okay. Just on there now. Just a shout out. File it on there now. My only problem with UFC is now, because there's that many fighters now. I get to the stage, I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this woman? Because it's just so many people have just come out of nowhere. I'm just going to check the card. I don't actually know who's fighting. I don't even know where it is. So I know Stevie Ray, obviously Arnold Gustafsson, Anthony Smith, Jimmy Manoa. That's pretty much it. I take it that's in Sweden then. Am I missing Jack Gallagher's contract? Alright. We'll get him. Reason being, if this is a written deal. Aye. We could offer him higher than that. Like, I could go written and I could easily push that deal out the water. Or Tony Khan won't let me offer it, right? So if I even bulk it down a wee bit. So again, that's the joy of having an owner. I'm only interested in signing a written deal, but if I offer him paper appearance, then he's going to take the written deal. So we do need people to leave rather than their contracts just running out. Until we get them over. Once the company's over, we'll be fine. Kana has divorced. I like Jack Gallagher too, man. I really enjoyed his work. I've been lucky to see him in local shows. Hey, my phone's fully charged finally. Sweet. Yeah, so we'll book this one last show. As I say, the aim is we'll try and get streaming as much as we can. As I say, the setup in the first couple of months are always a bit rough, and then once you get cracking on, you know, the save just kind of flows and you can get a lot booked in quick succession. Killer Cross claims the belt in AAA. Nothing else too massive there, so we will. Oh, James J. Dillon has passed away. Unfortunately, get deaths in this as well. Never nice to see. Don't particularly like seeing it in the game, but is what it is. Locker room incident. Jack Evans is using some soft drugs backstage. I do need him at next event. I'll send him to rehab. Oh, only alright, let's go. We can't. Stern warning. Alright, so never would apply to that. And then more tips on psychology, that's good. Because he's not written contract, sorry, we can't send them to rehab. Maybe. There's plenty of people we could sign. Plenty of people I think I've used yet. So your last used unknown. Quite a lot of people there have not been used. One day the Coffee Brothers I want to bring in. That's for sure. So I'm going to build up a massive main event again, just so we can maybe put some lesser talents on the show and give them a bit of exposure. So let's give the world a tag match, because I don't want these people going off against each other 1v1. I don't want to make that pay-per-views. So I'm going to go Kenta can team with John Moxley. Keep going to heels. I don't need to. And they can take on Chris Jericho. In fact, no. Let's put the Addiction in a high position. I think that'll still draw pretty reasonably high. I think. And it's a team that for a couple of wins, so they can afford a loss. We'll take Kenta getting the win. Give him the boost. He can get the win over Daniels. Pinfall. And don't need to slow book that, that's fine. So my storytelling match, I'm going to go who's even in the private party? I'm going to be honest, I don't know who they are. Pardon my ignorance on that. Let's try to see who they can bring. I'm going to give the women a good spotlight here. I'm going to give them a 6-person tag. So we'll go with Smiley Kylie Ray. We'll go with Riho. We'll go with Sadie Gibbs. And we'll have them taking on Imai Sakura, Penelope Ford, and Ali. We'll give them 9 minutes, and we'll have Ali pick up the win on Smiley Kylie Ray. Pinfall, make a storytelling as well. That used to be my horrible thing to do. My WWE save when they were still a women's division. At the start, I just made the women's match that. Right, if the people want to see it, we'll go with it. 2v2. We're going to have the tag team of, in fact, let's make it even more. Let's make it even more than that. We're going to see Jungle Boy team up with Orange Cassidy and Marco Stunt in a very, very bizarre team. And they can take on Jimmy Havoc. Who else can get in here? Hangman. And Sammy Guevara. Just try to get people on the show that have never been on the show yet. So we got a comedy match here. We just pretend it's comedy. Jungle Boy can take the loss and Adam Page can take the win. So what we'll do is that'll not be co-main, but after the match we'll have a heated confrontation, and it'll be Hangman and Chris Jericho. Because obviously that's still going to be the championship match. Like regardless, we'll still make that the championship match. I need another solid matchup just to make sure we get a good co-main event. So let's go with Kenny Omega. And we'll have Kenny take on Dustin Rhodes. I think that could be pretty solid. Give them 11 minutes. Give Kenny a good win. So what is that saying I've not got? steal the show. Drop back to 10 minutes. I know Dustin's 50, but you can try and steal the show with Kenny Omega. There we go. So that's fine. I had an idea for a match I was going to put there. In fact, no, match-wise we're fine. We probably should use more pre-show matches, but again, just being a bit cautious with the finances. Probably now I'm just going to book the rest of the show as promos, just to make sure we get that high rating. So I'm going to go a promo, tag team, and we'll have it, instead of Moxley, we'll have Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian mocking Kenta and John Moxley. So that's 5 minutes, that's fine. I'm going to have a single promo from Dustin. Maybe thinking, oh, I don't know if I've still got it. It's fine. Going to have a hype sports entertainment opening, which you'll see. In fact, if I make it free, I don't want Kenta speaking because it was never his strong point. So if I do that, and then it's like, oh, he's going to get a mystery partner, and the mystery partner can be Kenta. So we'll go John Moxley, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian. They should be able to carry a very solid opening promo. Give them 6 minutes. I could just make it the shows as long as I want and use that option, but I do want to keep it, a bit of a challenge. You know what I mean? That's why we've got Tony Khan as well. So a couple of these matches are just going to get time cut, and there we go, just like that. So Kylie Ray, Rio and Sadie Gibbs against Emi Sakura, Penelope Ford and Ali, Jungle Boy, Orange Cassidy and Marco Stunt against Jimmy Havoc, Adam Page and Sammy Guevara, Kenny Omega versus Dustin Rhodes, and Kenta and John Moxley versus The Addiction. We will move over and do a show in the Southwest. Change up a wee bit. And it just goes up a wee bit. We'll be in Fowler Park in San Diego, California. Let's see how we go. The reason, as I said, I do pre-show bouts is purely for financial reasons. I don't want to be putting people in that I don't need to be putting in. As I say, once we get to like 4 million, I'll be quite more happy to waste a bit of money, but when we're only making 85,000 profit, I'd kind of want to be a bit more cautious, and just because if you get a situation with industries in a much of a slump, America, wrestling's not popular, you could be losing money then, so you still need that cash reserve. So the hype segment set up the main event was a C plus 66, got shot a strong start, got the crowd hotter. So I knew Daniels would deliver with Moxley, so that's good to see. Opener, bit iffy, didn't lose the crowd, which is good, but it was Emi Sakura, Penelope Ford and Ali with the win. Ali was head and shoulders above everyone else, so she could be a key component of our women's division. But you've got a lot of people that don't, American audience wouldn't really be familiar with Rio, Sadie Gibbs, and Emi Sakura, so it's going to be getting them over, and a lot of skill improvements, which is good to see as well. So happy with that, and obviously people at Penelope Ford need to learn psychology, so hopefully with the right workers we'll get that. Terrible match, but E plus 35 is not too bad in your 6-man tag. Your worry is when Hangman Page is the worst in his team, and even worse than Marco Stunt. So we're going to have to really work in pushing Hangman, or this championship match could flop. But E plus 35, and we'll see how his overness is progressing. Page looks lost alongside Jericho as if a confrontation, but that's a D45. So we'll check his overness and see where we can go with that. Great chemistry between Kenny and Dustin results in a D plus 49. Kenny wins in 805. Match was at the crowd buzzing, 53 to 30. Dustin will be struggling to keep up with going all out, but somebody to steal the show, so you do lose a little bit there. But he's going to be slowly but surely phased out, Dustin, because 50 is just no good age in TW terms. After the match, I had C minus 53, so pretty solid promo from Dustin, just worrying if he can still make it. Promo from the Addiction only gets a D plus 50, so it's not quite a John Moxley promo, but it sets up your main event. But the match is the best match in AEW history. About that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Kenta and Moxley defeat the Addiction in 14:08 when Kenta wins with a go to sleep. So C plus 69, just short of a sellout by a fan. And I think we can look at a lot of good components there. Even we can use like the Daniels and Kazarian in a main event spot as well, and get the benefit of that. We'll keep an eye on Sammy Guevara. I think if he's getting better performances, he's someone we can look to push quite quickly. But overall, C61, best show in AEW history, and it increases our popularity in 18 regions. I told you, slowly but surely, once you figure out what works with what, you can certainly seek to get better shows. As I say, A-rated shows are a good wee while off, maybe a couple of years, but if we get the best for the best wrestlers, then you never know what could be achievable. Especially instead of them being in development, they're always going to be gaining skills in matches. So you hope the younger talents will get over and over as time progresses. So we'll do a wee couple of checks here. I'll progress the next week to the next event off stream. Go from there. A complete MCL tear, so Cesaro is going to be out for 5 months and 3 weeks. It's a horrible injury to get at his age. Is that still looking us to be getting Jay Lethal? So Jay Lethal, despite staying with ROH, could still sign with us. That's good. Build MCL. Keep an eye on that one, because I don't think his in-ring stuff's going to be quite where we need it. That's the name I'm hearing a while, Jimmy Rave as well. Right, so at the moment, he wants a $100 increase. We'll sign him in a year deal. I don't want to be committing a bit more to a 41-year-old. A lot of contracts will be quite short unless they're massive. Moxley's struggling, but that's because we kind of need to use him. But we got our best TV rating as well. Fucking hell, don't hold back, Jericho. So Hangman, if we need a Hangman to go over, needs to be in the Mid-Atlantic or the Tri-State, or we might have to see him getting attacked and someone else taking that role. He's gaining pop, don't get me wrong. 6 there, 3 in the Mid-Atlantic, 7 elsewhere. I just don't think he's going to be at the level to perform when we need him. But good to see places like Canada. They're improving all over the world, which is good. Even small gains in Australia, Europe, and in the UK as well. So that's good to see. Only Japan. He's not really. I think that could be a shout. Guevara, I think, will be someone that we kind of keep in the mid card, but then one day just explodes into something massive. So we'll keep an eye on Hangman. I do feel we are going to have to get to the stage where we might need to just write him out and bring somebody else in that main match. But we'll try and get a solid card ready for All In anyway. All Out, sorry. I know. It's like I wanted to keep it close to real life, but if it's going to really affect the show, then we will need to take some kayfabe actions. Moxley and Phoenix, I think, will get a rest next week. We'll just probably have a Moxley promo. Honestly, I'm really thinking the idea of just having Moxley Jericho at All Out. Pre-booking, as I said, so they two will go. I'll still get Kenny against Moxley. I can't even check who's going to be available that far in advance, I don't think. Schedule. Nope, I can't really check, but you'd imagine, oh god, if it's on a week we're missing the AAA guys as well, we're going to be having a bad time. In fact, we book Saturdays, what am I doing? We'll see. I think not having certain wrestlers as well adds to the challenge as well. I think it's something we can build to. I think he might be one, Sammy Guevara, where wins and losses will matter, and we'll just try and give him wins. Most people are in the mod, I'd imagine, so that Jimmy Rave would be there. Well, there's Jimmy Dream. There's Jimmy Rave, active wrestler. It's weird, still weird seeing him with short hair because I just remember him for his TNA run. I didn't watch Ring of Honor at the time, so don't really remember his ROH stuff. And Bill Dempsey will be in it 100%. Physically good, but Pop's not bad. A few starts are a bit kind of here and there. But the only thing I'll say is I'd want to try and hire people that are over regional. Not regional, over regional, so recognisable to hire. Is everybody getting Pop now? What if we go to well known? That can't be right. There's too many folk that are popping up. I don't think that's filtering it. No, is it most well known? Is it least? Sorry, that's my bad. I'm just being an idiot. So if I go to regional, sorry, that's going to swiftly change that around to, yeah. I thought that was too many names. That's why. So that's my bad. I apologise for that. But yeah, you can see there. So maybe somebody like AA, which was suggested, could be an idea. Not too happy with his behaviour, but you know, it could bring him in and somebody. Oh well, she's retired, so we wouldn't be looking at her. But you know, somebody like a Jack Swagger, bring him in as a Jake Hager, a badass, could be a shout. Sammy Callahan was mentioned, so we could look at him. Stu Bennett, I would not be against bringing in Wade Barrett. Enzo and Castle there. So, and Alberto El Patron is there as well. So, there's a lot of ex-WWE names, but that's if you're kind of looking for somebody with a bit of name value behind them. If we can add them up with a performance, then you never know who we could look to bring in. As I say, we brought in Mick Foley. I've not used them yet, so we'll see. Maybe bring in Chris Masters and give him that run, because he still somehow is only 36. Mad that. That can't be right. Sure, must be a bit older than that. Alberto has anger issues. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Let's check this. Chris Masters is generally 36. Guy has been about for absolutely forever. So that means when he debuted, he'd be about 22, 23. Mad. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. If I was doing a YouTube save, I have to remember that this is Twitch. That's it for the stream even, sorry. So cheers to everybody that's tuned in over the course of the 3 hours we've been live. As I say, hopefully we can just be consistent with this. I say get a good run with AEW and just get back into streaming as well. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on who we can sign. Don't forget as well, I know it doesn't let you send a messaging or anything on Twitch. Always the best place to get any ideas for folk you might sign and that. Always just tweet me, Tweet1 Maxwell on Twitter. Best place, because I won't read anything on Twitch. I'm never really on Twitch, so anything just tweet me, Tweet1 Maxwell. Just keep it, just really, if you haven't already, hit follow. I can't guarantee you when I'm going to be streaming. You know, I could end up just doing a random stream in the spur of the moment. So I'd always advise just following, hit notifications. Once I'm live, you'll get a wee alert, and then we'll roll and we'll go through there. But just watching. Next time we're streaming will be next episode, obviously, of Tuesday Night Dynamite or Monday Night Dynamite we're doing, and we'll be booking into Fight for the Fallen, and then starting to put together a run for All Out. So cheers, enjoy your evening. Might see you later tonight, might not, possibly see you tomorrow. Cheers, bye.